Today we are going to learn the first Mishna of Perek Eilu Metzios. Let's start off with a little introduction. Let's go to our board. There's a mitzvah in the Torah called Hashavas Aveda, which means that if someone finds something of another person, he has a mitzvah to return it. The halacha is that if the owner of the lost object gives up on finding his item, which is called yiyush, he gives up, then the person who finds it can keep it. Now, why would a person not give up on finding something of his? It's because he has what's called a siman. Siman means a sign. That's what it means, a sign. What are example of a sign that a person may have on an object? One example is a name. A person may have his name in his wallet, on his iPod, a name. So a person, he won't give up because he knows that his name is written inside. There may be certain scratches that he has. Let's write that on the board. Scratches. Scratch. Certain scratch that he can identify that this belongs to him. So as long as a person has a siman on his item, he has a sign, he doesn't give up on finding it because he knows that he could find it and claim it, and he can give a sign to prove that it's his. But if there's no sign on it, then generally the person will give up of ever finding it because he has no way to prove that it's his. Now let's go back to our Mishna. The Mishna starts off, Eilu Metzios shalai. These are the found objects which the finder may keep. Ve'eilu chayiv lahachriz. And these are the objects, if a person finds it, he is chayiv, he is responsible, lahachriz, to call out, to announce, and try to find the owners. Let's make a little period over here. So there are two different types of items. One item which he gets to keep, the finder gets to keep it, and the other item that he has to try to announce and to try to find the owner. So now the Mishna is going to bring down three opinions on what sort of items need to be announced or not. Actually, this Mishna is only going to mention the items that a person may keep. In the next Mishna, later on in the Gemara, we'll discuss the items that a person needs to return. Let's continue. Eilu Metzios shalai. These items a person who finds them may keep. Now, the first opinion is Reb Meir. So let's write him down on our board. Reb Meir. Let's erase everything here and write down Reb Meir. First opinion is Reb Meir. Reb Meir is going to give us 10 examples of items that if a person finds them, he gets to keep. What are they? Let's go back to the Gemara. Number 1 is matzah peres mefuzarim. If a person finds fruits scattered on the floor in Rosh Hashanah, that's the number 1. Number 2 is mais mefuzaris, or he finds money spread out on the floor in Rosh Hashanah. We're mentioning the 10 things he may keep. Number 3 is krichos Rosh Hashanah, small bundles of wheat. If a person lost some Rosh Hashanah, he gives up. He has no way of proving that it's his. Number 4 is igulei dvela. Igulei dvela literally means round figs. It used to be they would make a cake of figs, and it would be a circle shape. So they're called igulei dvela. If a person loses that, the finder gets to keep it. Number 5 is kikrei shanachtem, bread that he bought from a bakery. There are hundreds or thousands of those breads being sold every day, and the person doesn't think that he'll be able to find them again. Number 6 is machrezos shel dagim. Literally means strings of fish. The way it was that when a person went to the fish store, he would buy fish, and the seller would tie the fish together with a string. They would hang from a string, and that's how it was sold. Number 7, v'chatichos shel basar, and pieces of meat that are lost. Number 8 is v'gizei tzemer hakuchim mimedinasam. Cut wool, which was taken mimedinasam, they're taken from its source. Basically, what it means is that if a person bought wool, and before he brought it to a professional to clean it and to comb it, he lost it, then he gives up on finding it. Number 9, v'anitze pishtan, and a bundle of flax. And number 10 is l'shenes shar gaman, tongues of purple wool. What this means is that they would comb the wool, they dyed it purple, and they would comb it, and it would come out to long lines, and it would come out to long strings, and it looked like a tongue, so it's called l'shenes shar gaman. So all these 10 items, harei l'shalai, the person who finds them in the street gets to keep them. Divrei Reb Meir. These are the words of Reb Meir. So let's recap before we go further. Reb Meir holds 10 different things that if a person finds them, he may keep. Let's write them down. Number 1 was a fruit. Let's say an apple. If a person found them scattered on the street. Number 2 were scattered coins. Number 3 was a small bundle of wheat. Number 4 was a cake made out of figs. Let's try to make a cake made out of a lot of figs. Number 5 was bread made from a baker. Let's make a long loaf of bread. Number 6 is a string with fish attached to them. So let's make here a string with fish attached. A bunch of fish. Number 7 were pieces of meat. Number 8 is wool which has not been processed yet. So wool, let's just make some fluffy wool. Now we're holding number 9. Number 9 is bundles of flax. And number 10 is purple wool that we said was combed. They would comb it, it used to look like a tongue. That's how they would comb it. It used to look round and long like a tongue. So these 10 things, Rameir says, if you find them, a person gets to keep them. Now let's continue in the Mishnah. Rabbi Yehuda Eimer, however, Rabbi Yehuda argues and says, Kol sheyesh bo shinoi, anything that a person finds, even the things that Rameir mentioned, if it's something's different about it, chayiv lahachriz, he's responsible, he has a mitzvah to announce it, to try to find the rightful owner. So let's make a little period over there. That's what Rabbi Yehuda says. Now the Mishnah says Ketzad. What does this mean that it has a shinoi? It has a difference. It's different. So Ketzad. So it's a question mark. So the Mishnah says, answers Matzah eagle. If a person found a cake of figs, the round cake of figs which we mentioned before, and inside he found a little plaster. So that's strange. A person has a cake and he found a little plaster inside. So he would need to return it, because a person who lost it could say, I know, I had a special cake. It was a cake that had plaster inside. Or another example, let's make a comment, that's one example. Another example is kikar. If we found a loaf of bread with soichai mais, and inside the loaf of bread was money, so again, the owner will not give up, because he has a siman, he has a sign that his thing was different from everything else. And the third opinion is Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Eimer. Rabbi Shimon, son of Elazar, says, Kol ki an puria ein chayev lahachriz. He says, any vessel which is brand new, a person does not need, and the person finds in the street, in chai v'hachis, he does not need to announce it and try to return it, because since it's so new, it's impossible the person can have a simon. So let's write down all these opinions down. So let's erase this. There was the mayor who gave his 10 examples. Then there was Rabbi Yehuda, who says anything which has a shinoi, anything which is different, something special about it. Different. Then he needs to announce it. And Rabbi Eliezer ben Reb Shimon ben Eliezer says, Reb Shimon ben Eliezer adds that also a new keli, something which is a new object, a new keli, a new kli, also a person does not need to return. So these are a list of things that a Mishnah mentions that do not need to be returned. Do not need to be returned. And that is the end of the Mishnah.